We are out here on the Pinellas Trail. Heybike has asked us to take out the Mars 2.0 to see what we think in terms of its viability. It is 2025 and Black Friday is coming up. Now, you guys know that we have a pretty narrow choice selection in terms of bikes that we like to use, and we do pick those bikes that appeal to the masses. And long ago, we were drawn to Heybike. Heybike has done a lot of updates on their application, so I just want to show you how we're going to set this up. You'll open the app. We're going to go add bike. Now it's going to look for the Bluetooth signal. If you have more than one Heybike around, you might want to like turn it off and no power, but this is the one, and we're going to go ahead and hit connect, and it's got that little link symbol. And then it will ask you if you want to add bike, and I do. It's the only one around. And then it's going to go through its thing. And then I believe that you can actually set colors for this thing. So let's see, settings, yes, right? It has a color selection. What I'm after right now, let's see if there's a firmware upgrade. And that's the current version of it. Personalize is where it's all at. So use your top speed settings. That's maxed out, miles per hour, that's good. I do not want throttle speed limiter, meaning I want full speed on throttle at all PAS levels. I don't want it matched. These look good, 10 miles an hour. Let's see other settings. Dark, light, a personal setting, trip reset, reset defaults, all that is good. I think we are where we want to be. I'm curious about that 32 miles an hour, but I don't have high expectations on that front, and I shouldn't, especially on a folding 20x4. But to have the power of it will be worthwhile, so let's check it out. Now we're out here at the little sand pit. I'm just going to take this Mars through it. I'm just going to use throttle and see if it can. Oh yeah, that's not bad. Now it's having a tough time, but this sand isn't like what you would find a lot of places. This is the sugar sand, and it is really hard to ride through, but that was a valiant effort, and I am not disappointed. It is doing well. To be able to take off, especially like right here in this area where it is super loose and super soft, is an impressive feat. The 20x4 fat tires are plus when it comes to that, and these knobbies are the Chow Yangs, and it seems to be doing a good job coupled with the motor. Now Heybike claims the motor is 1800 watts. However, we have seen the controller and calculated the top wattage that can be achieved at a fully charged battery at 54.6, and your controller is at 28 amps max current limit. That being said, that puts you at just over 1500 watts to the motor, and thus that is going to be your peak output for this e-bike, and it does not disappoint. However, it, like many others in the industry, has been rounded up, and it's something to keep in mind if that is the most important aspect that you're looking for. So if I recall correctly, PAS 1 in the application was 10 miles an hour, and the speedometer as we go up this hill is showing 11. So that's a pretty accurate scenario. I may have missed it by a little notch on the slider scale, but that's just fine. What we're seeing here is that it's holding, and you do have an adjustment to set the miles per hour for each PAS limit. So PAS 2, let's see what that is. That one comes in at 15, 16. but there's adjustments. So like testing these settings is based on your preference and what you would like. I think that I would like my Pass 3 to come in under 20, 22, so I may go in and make that adjustment to have that happen. But this feels comfortable, and this is going to be a viable speed to help get a good test with the Mica toll constant for the range. And we plan on riding this bike down to Clearwater. That gives us just under 20 miles. We'll go up the bridge. That way you can see the effort and how it performs going up the incline on the deck of the Clearwater Bridge that heads out to Clearwater Beach in Clearwater, Florida. Now this is not a full suspension bike, but it does have a suspension seat post, and let me tell you, that does make a difference when you get into the distance on your rides, and I'm very happy that I'm feeling that seat post come through right now. It is doing its job. So right here I have this like wooded trailway that I can get on for a little off-road testing. And I guess I'm just gonna give her the old full throttle and see how she goes. Countdown, 3, 2, 1. Let's just do it. 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, I need to stop pedaling, just let it loose. See how controllable. If I wreck, you guys come save me. All right, so it's kicking up there. Like I'm you know, I don't know if this is probably my best advised scenario for riding a bike. 26.6. Now we have GPS overlay. I don't see it now, and I you know, I'm getting to a place where I don't mind that, and I actually prefer it because it keeps my mind on what the bike is saying, and then to check that afterwards, it also lets me get a feel for what is truly accurate. And I need to hone in on that, just my innate skills. So that wasn't terrible. I mean, I almost felt like it was almost too fast, especially for this bike, but performed well enough, especially for $1,000. And now that's the price that this bike is going to be at for Black Friday and their continuous sales right now. And it is, what day is today? November 23rd, I think. Look, it's a Ranger. I think I see a Ranger. It's interesting that it's parked right next to this Velotric Fold. And that is the gray Ranger S, so it looks like it's got a 1,000-watt motor as well. Good for them. So I really like the styling of this and the step through, but the pricing has just a little bit more cost to it. You can see they have a Cloud9 seat too. Now in the market you have Velotric Fold and step through as well, 20x3s. It is not the 20x4s, and it has a bit higher price tag. Both bikes are app enabled. Heybike does not do the battery monitoring and firmware updates that you can find in some models of Velotrics, but they do offer just a more powerful e-bike, and I've been on both, and I appreciate the fact that you get a lot more power out of this smaller structure from the Heybike. And if you ride it at a reasonable speed, the power comes into play when you need it most, acceleration or going up a hill, etc. So those are the things that I like. This bike is not meant to be a crazy speed demon. It is meant to provide enjoyment, make it easy and convenient if you need to use the folding functions, and then give you enough range to do the riding that you want to do. And I think Heybike has hit it on the head, especially since they've gone and updated their application. With all of the fine-tuned controls that you get out of the Heybike, it just makes it that much better. I'm gonna be on your left, down the middle. All right. Here are my likes for the Heybike Mars. Number one, 20x4. Now 20x4 tires are the most prevalent in the aftermarket. 20x3 is on its come up, but it's the 20x4s that are really out there. And you can do a lot of stylistic changes and accessorization with different slicks, you know, sidewall, the white wall, the gum wall, brown wall, etc. And we really like that. There are a copious number of different tread patterns out there. that accommodate a 20x4. Now, once we get past that, Chaoyang's typical, you know, they're very common, but there's a reason why they're so common, because they are an economical tire that get the job done. The Heybike Mars 2.0 does come with fenders, right? And it's standard. It also has a front suspension fork with lockouts, so we do appreciate that as well. And if you get the 1,000-watt version of this bike, you get hydraulic brakes. Now, I believe these are 180-millimeter discs, and they do provide some quality stopping power, like right now. That's pretty good. I think so. A little weird out the folks walking on the trail wondering why this guy's slamming on his brakes. I'm gonna be on your left, down the middle. So that was a pretty good stop. I may give her another go on flat ground just to see what the stopping distance is, and I'll just bring it up to a higher speed. So let's see, I'm gonna just pump that up to 5. I'm gonna fake pedal because high gear on this is a 14 tooth on the freewheel, and that means you've got less than a 4 gear ratio. We're at 28 by the speedometer, and so I'm just gonna let her rip and see what the distance is on stopping. They do work pretty well. So I try to pick a line, and hopefully I'll be able to walk it off. I'm fairly decent at this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 33 feet on the display, 28.6 miles an hour. So yeah, that can get it done. Now the whole of the rear just locked itself in place, so it's got a good gripping power. And then because of the weight distribution, I had a lot of control up front. It did slide a little bit, but that's just me being a little nutsos about braking for your viewing entertainment. Next after that, out of the gate, is the extension of the stem. We like the fact that we can bring the handlebars up, and that happens right here. You can actually undo this lever and bring it out. I do have my camera clipped on here, but that's just so I can show you guys this ride. But that part I really appreciate. Now, I will show you guys the folding aspects when we get to Clearwater, but I can already tell that I like this folding lever a whole lot better than I like the Apis folding levers. It's got much more sturdy feel to it and look, and it's not flopping around, and everything's integrated into the silver handle, so it's not like bringing over a latch and then banding it up or doing something along those lines. So A+ for the folding mechanism. So I'm coming up into a crowded pedestrian area. I'm going to bring this down to my PAS 1 level, and then I get to just use the horn. It does come with an integrated horn, and we like that electronic. Some might prefer a bell, but this does get everyone's attention, and it makes sure that you know that I'm here, because it's annoying, like a horn should be. There's also a light switch on it, which is really nice. The downside, heads up, the downside to this is the fact that the auto sensor on the light will, if you have it on, will turn on when the bike is off at the controller. So you guys keep that in mind. It's just one of those little nuances that you have to be aware of. There's another Heybike. What is that? Is that an original Mars? It is. Look at her. Seen some use. Heybike Mars 1.0. One of the big differences you'll see is the style of the battery there, and then of course that display. I don't know if you guys can see it. That display and these controls, looks like theirs are come off, but still rocking the thumb throttle. You know, I did get quite a bit of extension out of the seat post, which I was pretty pleased with, and that makes it more adept for a rider my height at 6'2". However, I would want more out of the extension, but the marker for the limit on the seat post says that I'm not going to get it, right? What I have is is pretty much maxed out. So what I can do is just show you guys real quick that, and then continue on down the line. See, there it is right there. Now I would originally want it probably, so I'm missing 2 to 3 inches off of the seat post height for perfection for my height. Now this is gonna, like, that would be limited as well for people over 6'2". So if you're like 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", this is not going to be the one for you for leg extension unless you make modifications. Now at the price point that you can get this bike at, it's worthwhile, right? You can find some kind of extension, figure it out. Suspension seat post, which the body of the suspension on suspension seat posts, like some of the more industrial ones, especially Bike Case Bump Stop, is like 4 inches. So there is no depth that you can travel. It actually just sticks up that much more. So there's this part of me that dislikes but likes this, and that is that it is a solid rear frame. There is no rear suspension, but they have compensated for that with a suspension seat post that is included from the factory. Now this goes a long way for comfort, and it's definitely something you want to consider, especially if you get a hardtail that doesn't have one, but this bike does, so that's pretty stinking awesome. We love that stuff. And we do have the Shimano shifter on the derailleur. It's a typical 7-speed. One of the problems back there, though, is that 14-tooth high-speed gear, and then low gear is actually 28. Now, that puts you at a 3.71 gear ratio with the combination of the chain ring, and honestly, you want to be above 4. You're looking like 4, 4.5 on a bike like this, so you can get some resistance while pedaling in the higher speeds, 20 and above, especially if it's advertised that way. All right, the cameras are back in play. Everything is working so far. I'm gonna give it full throttle to see what the high speed is, and then this will be a test for the GPS overlay. There are 2 GPS cameras, and then I will be able to see this at a distance marker on a trip record on my phone. This is showing 29.2, 29.8. It's just really speeding through there. I did see 30 on that. Did I see that? Yes, 30.3. That is crazy. All right. Well, it'll be worthwhile to see if it was actually able to do that. 32.4.7. Oh my goodness. 33. 32.7.4. My. I mean, the wind doth whip in my earballs, so that will be nice to check. I will be pleasantly surprised. I know it's speedy though. When I was on 28 miles an hour in that little wooded area on this thing, I was like, this is too fast. Too fast. Well, that was pleasing, especially for the bike. Like, I cannot get over the fact that you can get this thing for a grand now. It's like, what? $1,000, but it does speak to the evolution of the e-bike, so I'm pretty happy about that. And this is still a quality get, in my opinion. And the more I ride, I'm just like, hell yeah, this is the one. This is what you want. Another thing is the takeoff is not abrupt and killer. It doesn't just like jerk you out and make you regret actually pressing hard on thumb throttle. It's nothing crazy, and it's tolerable. Right? You don't need incredible launch acceleration on an e-bike. It's just not a thing that is necessary. You want something smooth. You want to stay in your seat. You don't want it jerking out from under you and popping a wheelie and losing control. So credit for that one. Voltage is showing 49.6, so we're pleased with that. Looks like a pretty decent readout based on my experience with bikes in this distance, and especially in the 48 volt class. So we're on the money. Above 50%, so there's that as well. And here we go. We're just gonna go up this spiral. It is a fun scenario. All right. So far, we are gaining speed. Now I have the throttle pushed in all the way, I'm gonna probably, yeah, I'm gonna have to slow that down. It hit up at 15 pretty quick. So this is where the advantage of the motor for the Heybike Mars 2.0 comes into play. The 1,000-watt rear hub just gets the job done. It climbs you when you need to climb, and it makes sure that you're sustaining or increasing speeds as desired, even on a incline. So here we go. We're just going to go to the top of the deck. We'll get a lookout here on one of the lookouts that are cut out on the side of the bridge. This is just, look at it, right? It's going, and it is increasing speed. It's kind of stopped out at 17. Still a quality uphill run. I am not pedaling. All of the laziness going through, I'm not pedaling at all. And it's working. And it's actually increasing speed, but we're getting ready. Yeah, we're flattening out of the top, so this is going to pick up a considerable amount as we move. Now, the battery gauge just sank. It went way down, but I'm at full throttle on a continuous run, so when I let this off, it's probably going to get back up. Yeah, for sure. There we go. I am pleased. All right, so I'm going to get up some speed, and then I'm just going to hit the brakes hard coming down here. And it does it just like I suspected. So the old Heybike Mars just said, I eat bridges for breakfast, and I would tend to agree. And at this point, it's like, does it pass mustard? The answer is yes. At 1,000, yes. They've improved the app. It's now functional. I don't have anything to say about it. I wanted all the adjustments, and those are typically not adjustments that you get for such an economical price point, so that is viable. It does have the application. You can personalize it. You can lock it out. You can turn it on from the app. You turn it on. You make all your changes. You have your account. You can do a trip ride follow. You can do all this stuff from the application. Then you have the power of the motor, the hydraulic brakes. It's foldable. It's 20x4 tires. It's all the things. It includes fenders. It's got a nice suspension seat post that accompanies the price point. That's the kicker. Accompanies the price point. So we're really happy about that too. And a 12 plus amp hour battery giving you 20 plus miles at 20 miles an hour throttle only based on the Mica toll constant. Now see, this is another thing, right? As I use the brakes coming down, it just brings me to a stop. And I'm appreciative of it. They do what they're supposed to do. Look. It's another it's a 2.0 too. That's a 2, right?
What's that?
2.0?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah,
I like your bike.
Good. Yeah,
how long have you had it?
I probably almost 2 years. I think I had like in 23, I believe.
All right. Did you get the 750 or the 1,000?
It's probably the 750. It's probably the 750, I believe.
Do you want to try this one?
Oh, that's good. I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Well, you have a good choice.
What that is?
Yeah, they have the 750 watt version or the 1,000 watt version.
I don't think it's 1,000 watt. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, mine doesn't have a second seat. You're pretty privileged. I like that.
Yeah, I put this on for him, my grandson. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Is that your first e-bike?
It's my first e-bike. Yeah. I just ride to work and back. I ride to work. So
multi-purpose.
Yeah. I just ride to work in the morning. If it ain't raining or nothing, I'm in like 10 minutes up the street.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
It look the same. So
yeah, they are. The same frame model, same everything.
Yeah.
The 1,000 watt is just, it's a beefier motor.
Yeah.
Same battery. So,
Yeah.
So you're not, the only difference is like the brakes. When you buy that motor, they give you the package where you get hydraulic brakes.
Yeah.
Those work well. I had that bike
for a
while.
That's cool.
It changes your life.
Yeah,
big time. So much fun, so much to do.
Yeah. Like I said, I wish I would have had it a long time ago when I was little. I wish I would have had it. Yeah.
All right, that's it. It looks like that logo, electric all-wheel. It's a play on electrical.
It's online?
Yeah, YouTube and the website.
Okay, electric all-wheel.
The videos suck in the beginning, so don't hold it against me.
All right, I'll check it out. All
right, man. Have a good night.
Have a good one, you too.
This is a 2.0.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah? This is the 1,000 watt 2.0. And I like it a lot. I've had a lot of them, and when I come back to riding them, I'm happy I did, because they do perform, especially when it's like, this is only $1,000 right now. It's just like, holy cow, right, for what you get compared to other brands especially. I like your bike, all right? You have a good afternoon, okay? All right, see ya. So we're just gonna head on through this traffic light, and we're gonna go ahead and get back. 10.6 miles, that's where we are. That was the bridge edition. I feel that it's gonna get cold now, right? I know that's gonna be a thing. I need some more sunlight, but we're gonna get back. We'll probably come in at just under 20 miles, and then after that, it'll be final verdict. But what is the final verdict? It's like, the question is, does Heybike, is this bike worthwhile? And the answer is yes. Yes, it is. There isn't anything really to discuss after that, because at $1,000 for this bike, like, you can't beat that with a stick, especially with the powerful motor. So now I'm looking at the voltage, and it's showing 48.2, and that puts us right about 50% on the official version. Now, I've ridden some bikes where the voltmeter just wasn't that great, and then it would just glitch, and then you'd see a huge drop off. And that's not what you're seeing here. It's very interactive, right? When I punch this thing and give it full throttle, you can see the voltage drop go down to like 45. So you know that this thing is in tune to what's happening with this electric drive system. Through the canopy, just doing these high-speed passes like madman. But it is holding up. It's doing what it needs to do. This is what we asked for. Stop. There we go. Like your bike? Yes. I turned on the camera so I could honk at people. If I could do my best Scott Hardesty, you're in the bike lane, but nobody's really obstructing, and this is a pedestrian mix, right? So bikes and the walkers, but I'll go ahead and do it just once for good time's sake. Gonna be on your left, down the middle. He noticed. She noticed too. She didn't want to turn around. That's that. Safety first, kids. Safety first. Now, I do find this to be quite interesting and admirable about the bike. We are at 44.9 before I hit, that's 44.9 volts before I hit full throttle. It drops to 41.9, but the speed is 24 to 27 miles an hour. Like, this thing is still pumping it out, just trying to make it go hardcore. So we do 28, right? We'll see with GPS overlay, but that's still pretty impressive, and I can feel it. Now, the motor on this bike is very quiet. The most noise is coming from the tread. You do hear a little bit of that, I don't even know how to describe it, but the wind up when the full power is delivered. But once that's done, it's done. There is nothing else, and it's very slight as it goes. You can hear power delivery. I think that's my final line about the noise. But after that, it is very, very cool. Look, another Heybike. Another Heybike. They're everywhere. Heybikes galore. And we're coming up to the pedestrian bridge, and this will be a good look because I show one bar. It's saying 42.5. It'll bump up, but it's going to drop drastically once I start on the load here. And you can see, like, it can hold pretty well at the 16, 17 mile an hour range, but that's about it. And there's that noise. I'm gonna be on your left. Thank you. We're coming in, voltage showing 38.6 on this line, which means likely we're nearing voltage cutoff. The battery is blinking right now. So I'm not in trouble because the ride is almost over. What I am curious about is the trip, 18.3. Now keep in mind, I've done a lot of high speed, full throttle passing. Let's let's see, total, what a max speed of 28.5, average speed 16.5. This is off the display. And we're at 18.4 miles on this ride. Now 24 miles was the Mica toll constant, so I'm feeling okay about this, but I can feel that the bike is dying out. However, you guys need to know that I was not kind to the throttle on this, and it's been, like when I'm pressing the throttle, it's been full throttle the whole time. So I'm generally pleased with how this is going. The Mica toll constant does say 20 miles an hour. It does not say 28. So as it stands, 12.5 amp hours on this 48 volt battery for the Heybike Mars. Does it pass the test? Yes, it does. Do I recommend this bike? Yes, I do. Do I highly recommend this bike at the price point it's at for Black Friday 2025? Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes and yes again. Go ahead and get two, especially for you RVers. Put them in your bins, carry them on in your RV, and do the thing. This folding bike is worth the time. It can adjust to itself, can work with a taller rider. I'm not getting this thing for all of the total height and premium comfort aspects. I'm getting it for versatility, its power, the combination of all of the features, from the lights to the horn to the thumb throttle, the ergonomic grips, the folding capacity, the front fork, hydraulic brakes, 1000-watt rear hub motor, and this nice durable rear rack. We are all about it. What do I really want out of it beyond all of that? I'm gonna say, please go ahead and put an 1134 on your next model, but the 3.0 is already out. You already saw that, and they changed up the body style big time. So this bike is worthwhile, and you could make these mods to make it your own, and it's definitely worth a grab. You guys check out the link for the bike in the video, or the description of the video below, and also check for a discount code as well. We appreciate you utilizing those links to help keep this channel going. We are going to get this bike in, buttoned up, and then call it a day, get this video out, and then put it out there for Heybike and all the potential owners of the Heybike Mars 2.0. We'll talk to you next time.